Hello and welcome to Launch Your Life Today, a 5-step formula to hope, courage, and motivation to heal your soul and love your life again. I'm Dr. Liz and I'm a comeback champion. I appreciate you for tuning in to hear my experience, strength, and hope about how I was able to make my comeback from physical and sexual abuse, from alcohol and drug addiction in my teens and young adult years, and more recently, from the grief, helplessness, and hopelessness of the suicide of my husband and child's father. Becoming a #1 multi-international Amazon bestselling author, speaker, teacher, and founder, medical director of the Arise Mind, Body, Spirit Healing Institute. And most recently, which I'm most excited about, I have created a charitable foundation called the Benjamin J. Dubrow Rainbow of Hope Foundation for Mental Health and Suicide Prevention to reach more people on the global scale and to instill hope for those who need it and to reduce the rate of suicide worldwide. So that's why I'm here. But you might not have any of these specific roadblocks or some of these specific roadblocks. You might already be a successful entrepreneur, but perhaps you want to see what others are doing to add more tools to your tool belt. Or you might be needing a little shot of hope today. Or you might want to launch your life out of a stuck place and to champion your own comeback from whatever has been holding you back today, not next month, not tomorrow, but today. And in fact, right now. So if you're ready to come back and start living your best life today, then you're in the right place. Because today I'm going to share with you my 5-step formula to hope, courage, and motivation to heal your soul and renew that love for your life that you once had. And if you stay tuned to the end, I will tell you how to get your free gift, how you can join the Arise Mind, Body, Spirit Healing Institute, and find out more about working with me and networking with others like yourself. So how does that sound? If you like it, raise your hands up high and clap real quick and enter a thumbs up or clapping hands emoji in the comments section. All right, great. So this is how I did it. So we've got 5 steps. I'm going to go through the first 3 and then we'll talk about the last 2 at the end. So the first one is healing your mind. What do I mean by this? First of all, re-wake your mind is what I like to call it. Re-wake. I looked that word up, and it's kind of like, we weren't always asleep. Our minds weren't always asleep, but our minds house our thoughts, the mental, and our feelings, the emotional. And many of us have become programmed to think and feel down about ourselves and our lives by negative messages we received either growing up in our primary family relationships or in unhealthy adult relationships. And this program may just be automatic now for some of us. And that's what I mean. Our minds have gone to sleep and the negative thoughts and feelings are an autoplay. And it's time now to deprogram or reprogram and rewake our minds to more positive messages. We need to stop that old autoplay and flip the record over. What I've learned to call that play the B side of that mental emotional tape. The A side is no longer good anymore. So here's a story from my experience to illustrate this point. One of the most powerful things I was told early on in the program of Alcoholics Anonymous was, your feelings aren't necessarily facts. So you see, I would have a feeling, let's say irritated. I felt irritated about something my husband did. That feeling immediately led to a whole cascade of negative thoughts about my husband. Why is he doing this? He's doing it on purpose. He's doing it just to bother me. He's being a blankety blank, right? I mean, how many of you all have done this kind of thing, right? And this is all going on inside of our minds. In essence, I'm just making up these things really in my head. But I started believing them because, they're thoughts. They're thoughts in my head. And I always before had trusted my thoughts. What's worse, I would act on them as if they were facts. I'd negatively confront my husband and assassinate his character because of all the thoughts I had made up in my head. Well, at the same time, I was learning about this, I was in therapy with the author of a book called Telling the Truth, Breaking Free from the Jail of Your Mind. And in it, he talks about becoming free from your negative self-talk by speaking your truth, by talking about your thoughts and feelings as a neutral observer. And he provides a formula, which was really useful. And I'm providing that to you now. I feel blank when you do blank. This formula helps us to both understand and identify our own feelings, what's mine and what's not mine. Sometimes these thoughts are not feelings at all, and sometimes they're not even my feelings. Once I started practicing this with my husband at the time, my reality did change on each issue. His classic statement in the book is, the truth changes reality. And I realized that by speaking my truth, my reality did change. Either my attitude changed the moment the words left my mouth. Like, I remember the first time I tried it, I said, when you do this, it bothers me. And it was something silly, like something about the shower or something. I don't remember what it was. And the moment that it left my mouth, I realized that it was silly. And it was just removed. The irritation was removed from me. And I was like, you know what? It doesn't even bother me anymore. It's okay. Don't worry about it. The other way that your reality could change by telling your truth is that your partner or the person that you're speaking to might change by learning how you felt. So here's an example, of how you would say it again. Honey, did you realize that you do XYZ? Well, that kind of bothers me. Do you think we can figure something else out that we can both live with? That's just one example. Once I was able to stop my mind from running with the you thought statements, you did this, you're doing that on purpose, whatever, and start my sentences with I feel blank or I think blank when you do blank, I was better able to discern between verified facts versus my feelings, that those feelings that led to negative thoughts. And your partner can help you, like, say, well, that's not even true, or whatever. They can verify whether these are just thoughts that aren't based on fact, or whether it is true. Oh yeah, that's right, I do that. I can change that, or whatever. So this in turn helped me to slow and eventually stop that negative self-talk, which had become very dysfunctional in my relationships, and replace it with more positive affirmations or simply neutral facts which serve me and my relationships better. So, my point here, in a simple nutshell, is interrupt or stop the automatic negative self talk and insert, reprogram, or rewake the positive, healing, hopeful messages. And the takeaway is to learn from your past. Stay away from the people, places, things, and situations that directly inject negative messages or that trigger your negative self-talk. If you can't stay away from them, maybe start trying to move away, or work with these I statements to try to change the dynamic and ultimately reprogram the negative mental emotional commentary that's running in your mind and change them to positive messages. So the assignment that I'm going to give you is going to be one assignment for all three of these steps. So after I get through the third step, we'll go through with the assignment. So we're going to go on to step 2 now. And so just step 2 and step 3 are kind of similar to step 1, but it's healing different parts. So the first part is the mind. And now we're going to talk about healing your body. So what do I mean by healing your body? I'm using the term restore again because our bodies, I think, were better at one point in our lives, and so now we're going to try to restore them. And with respect to body, I'm not just talking about physical appearance or even physical strength. I also felt like this is a category we should add deeds, our deeds and our actions. So just like our minds have fallen asleep with the autoplay of old, worn out negative messages, so too can physical routine be holding back our bodies, actions, or our deeds. Physical routine of deeds, or non-deeds, physical routines of doing nothing. And it may be holding us back from our bodies back, or our deeds or our actions back from their positive potential. So this can be potentially eating habits. It can be, physical, like I mentioned. It could be healthful actions that are not optimal for our body or our deeds or um, our actions to perform at its maximum potential or at their maximum potential. It can be an actual routine from your past that isn't working for you anymore and needs to be tweaked, overhauled, or changed in order to see more positive results in your body, actions, or deeds. Or it could be, that you need to set one up, set a routine up. Um, so, so through my healing journey, to give you an example, I learned two very, very important things. Another sort of relationship here between reprogramming and restoring our bodies to a more positive, healthful potential. How can we do that? So the connection here is between the mind and the body. So we just did the mind in step one. Um, if you want to change your mind, thoughts, feelings, actions for the better, sometimes people have said, take your body, the mind will follow. If you want to change your body, your actions or your deeds for the better, or sometimes you need to take your mind to that place first, and then your body will follow. So if you think about yourself and ask yourself, are you more of a doer or are you more of a thinker? This will tell you which probably you're going to need to do in order to change one or the other of these. For a doer, it's harder for you to tap into the subconscious mind. So you might be better acting your way into positive thoughts. And this is where you would want to really focus on healing or restoring your body slash actions and deeds. But if you're more of a thinker, then you might be able to think your way into positive action. And sometimes I've needed to do the thinking first um, into positive action rather than acting my way into positive thinking. So, just meditate upon that for a little while. And one of the ways that one of the examples that I want to give you from my life is very simply the physical body. So after I turned 50, I started working at a job that was very much more sedentary. And it was much more sedentary because I was pretty much getting paid for thinking. And you know, communicating, coordinating, and doing, and a lot of that took place on the computer. So after about 4 years, I probably put on about 4 pounds a year, if not 5 pounds a year. I realized that I wanted to lose weight, and I couldn't really change my job. I was stuck in the job, so I had been trying to do the exercise. You know how that is. I've been trying to tell my mind, let's get into some kind of workout routine. Let's start something. Let's do something. It never worked with that kind of thought process. So I just realized that I just have to start moving my body more. I have to just start with my body, and the mental attitude about it will pick up. It'll be a new habit. Just move your body more. Look for opportunities. It doesn't matter what I do, just move more. And if you're moving more but you're not changing your diet or your calories, you're actually going to lose weight, because you have to either increase energy expenditure or decrease caloric intake, or both, to lose weight. So I just started moving my body more. Like, for instance, you're brushing your teeth, you start lifting your legs up to your knees up to a 90-degree angle to your body, like leg lifts, while you're standing there. Or after you brush your teeth, just take a few seconds and do a couple of bendovers, touch your toes, or try to touch your toes, start the process. Just find different places to move your body more in a few minutes that you would normally just stand still or sit still. I started during commercials, watching TV, getting up. If I don't have commercials, laying down and doing leg lifts in front of the TV instead of just sitting there in front of the TV. So those are some ideas. Again, for the assignment, we're going to get to that after step 3. So let's move on to step 3. Revive your spirit. Our minds, thoughts, and mental Our body's physical actions and deeds are connected to our feelings, emotional and heart, and ultimately our spirit soul. So by completing steps 1 and 2, you will realize that you've already begun to revive and heal your spirit soul. So that is a connection that you can make. Once you do that, it reconnects you or connects you to a power greater than yourself, which in turn will instill hope that you need to continue practicing this mind, body, spirit healing, reverse your stagnation or downward spiral, and get you back to truly loving your life again. So, an example from my story is with addiction. Once I hit bottom, I couldn't grasp basic concepts of reality, is what I called it in my mind. I wanted to end my life, and I realized a connection with the substance abuse, my mind, and I reached out for help and did what others told me, which is research, and I did what they did, which is implementation. So by taking my body to a 12-step recovery program, there I connected with other people, and the realization that it was my substance abuse, my mind, and that connection with those other people, and being in a space of recovery and other recovering people, I was able to reconnect with my higher power, which revived my spirit soul. I got some hope that I wasn't alone in this, and it made me really stop wanting to hurt myself anymore, stop wanting to end my life, and began my healing journey back to the person I was before all of the negativity and unhealthy behaviors had started. And as a bonus, I learned new positive healthy tools to continue improving my whole self so that I wanted to really live my life again, which is my hope for tomorrow. So my point here, again, in a nutshell, is recognize that we're not in this alone. Sometimes I can't, but we collectively can, or we, me and another person, one other person even, um, or more. And we'll talk about expanding the circle in a few seconds here. When I reach out for help, I allow a power greater than myself, the we, to help me connect with my spirit soul. So the takeaway here is that with this step, we will instill hope for our tomorrow by connecting with people, places, things, and situations that directly feed your spirit soul and move away from the ones that don't. You will gain help and courage to implement a better life today, which in turn instills hope for a brighter tomorrow. So here's your assignment. Are you ready? Um, you can actually start this right now. Okay, as we're talking, as you're listening to me, you can get this started right now. For some of you, you may want to wait until you get home and, isolate some time and do it later. But the first thing that I want you to do is decide on one thing that you want to work on first. Just one thing. This is not going to work if you try to pull a lot of things together, because then you'll feel down about yourself again. Something that will rewake your mind, something that will restore your body, or something that you feel like you need to revive your spirit. Once you get that one thing in your mind that you know needs to change, make a commitment to implement that change right now, today. Sometimes it's going to be doing the opposite. Sometimes it's going to be not doing something at all. Sometimes it will be doing something new. So whatever that action is, to make that change, make a commitment. The second step is making the commitment. So the first thing is identifying what it is you want to do, which one you want to start with first. Again, I recommend the mind, unless your mind is not as strong and you can take your body and start something with your body, and then your mind will follow. And then you take action after you make that commitment to take the action. So you might do those things in 1 minute. Then you take the action, you start implementing it today. You do that new practice for 21 days, because you're going to make a new habit out of it. So you're replacing the old unhealthy with the new positive, more healthy. After 21 days, go back to the 3 healing steps, your mind, body, and spirit. Pick something in one of the other areas that you know needs improvement, or that you can improve upon, from either the mind, body, or the spirit. And once you decide what that is, repeat, making the commitment to implement the change, doing the change, that new practice for 21 days or not, whatever that new practice is, and repeat with the last area. So if you do this, this is already starting today. It can already be a 63-day process heading out. But here's what I promised earlier in the beginning. Here's how you can unlock steps 4 and 5 and the rest of my free healing strategies. So step 4 is getting the support, getting more support. So that would be through groups, networking, education. And step 5 is locking it in, getting that consistency. This is the one area that I've had the most trouble with, is being consistent. I'll start something for a day or two and then I'll slip back. Consistency is where I need to work on. So, and I have done this with myself. I've gotten into, programs which support whatever it is that I'm doing. So this will help you continue to do this for life and lead to continuous improvement in your life, which will be positive for you. And you'll feel like you're launching your life again. So where do you go to get your freebies? I want you to go to my website, www.drlizlifelaunch.com, and you can grab my free healing resources booklet there as a special thank you for joining me on this talk today and checking out my website. To find out more about becoming a member of Arise Mind Body Spirit Healing Institute, click on courses on my website. To work together with me one-on-one, or grab me as a speaker on your podcast or for your event, go to my website and click on Book Dr. Liz. For more about how I did it, click on the tab Dr. Liz in the Media for links to other videos and podcasts that I've been on. And check out my blog link. I've been doing one blog a month, and I've just completed my 4-month series of mental health. For the products I use for self-care and healing, go to my healing resources link. And finally, but not least, to get a free review copy of my audiobook, fill out that contact form and put in the description review audiobook. And you can also get a free review copy of every book that I write in the future, which I have a poetry book coming out. Before it's published, fill out the contact form with "add me to your launch team," and I will get you on my launch team and you will get a free copy of every book that I write in the future. So it's www.drlizlifelaunch.com. I look forward to seeing you over there, and thank you so much for your kind attention and interest. I wish you all the best life has to offer.